And when we started Holoride, we tried something. We brought VR into a car. Feels so great to be back on a physical stage. Good to see you all this morning, and also welcome to all the people on the screens. As Toby mentioned, I'm here to entertain you this morning. And as you know, since decades, cars have been an essential part of entertainment. However, entertainment never really made it into cars. So why is that? And that's why we have started Holoride to change this. We are a startup based here in Munich. We started 2.5 years ago. We are a spin-out of the German car manufacturer Audi. But don't worry, we are working manufacturer agnostic. So the reason why we spun out is to work with every car manufacturer out there. And we started with a clear purpose in mind to really make transit time count, to make people on the go happier, smarter, even more productive. If you look at the status quo today and the numbers, just the pure facts, even though we haven't arrived at the autonomous age yet, people all over the globe spend around 400 billion hours per year as a passenger in private cars. And it's estimated that all this accounts for 1 trillion euros in economic value. So it's a massive audience. So the passenger economy, how it's always called in the context of autonomous driving, it's already there today. The 4 biggest ride-hailing companies, Uber, Lyft, Didi, and Grab, they perform 50 million rides per day with passengers on board. So, but why, in terms of entertainment, is it still the status quo that you don't have fantastic visual in-car entertainment? First of all, it's very complicated to get into cars. For all the media companies out there, it's always a big, big challenge to collaborate with car manufacturers. But there is a second aspect, and this is not just a kids' topic, but literally 30% of all passengers suffer from severe motion sickness when consuming visual content in cars. That means not even texting is possible for many of them. So who of you suffers from motion sickness when reading, texting, watching a movie? I would say it's even more than a third when I look at the audience, but it's not representative here, of course. So you're not alone, 30%. And there's another 30% that gets symptoms of motion sickness like sweaty hands after like 10 to 15 minutes when looking at their screen. The reason for that is your eyes are fixed on a screen and your body feels the motion of the car, like even slight acceleration, braking, curves. And since your brain is not processing this non-synchronized content, so the eyes are expecting something else than the body feels, that creates motion sickness, and it's across all ages, all genders. There's no real difference. And when we started Holoride, we tried something. We brought VR into a car. And those of you that have tried VR before, there's also the effect of sometimes VR sickness. So people are maybe tied to a chair, having a very dynamic VR experience, and their brain is expecting some haptic feedback. So a lot of people get VR sick. And when we started with our first prototype back in 2015, people said, you guys are nuts. People are getting motion sickness in cars, and people are getting VR sick, and now you're combining this. But I'll show you how it works with a small video. This should have sound, but I think it's coming up a little later. So for the more tech-savvy people amongst you, we are building a platform to distribute content to cars, and the application run on standalone personal devices. So you bring your personal device to the car, you wirelessly connect to the car, and the application runs on the device. The compute is being done on the device, so no extra hardware needed to be built into the cars. Two core components of our platform are, on the one hand, the vehicle localization software that takes car data in real time and is doing the synchronization with the content in real time, so almost no latency. And the other part is our Elastic SDK, so our SDK for developers to create content for cars. We have just launched it 4 weeks ago, so you can sign up on developer.holoride.com, and you can get access to the SDK and start building for the car. And the way the localization software works, what I just explained is, we take the position of the car, we take the acceleration, braking, steering angle, the wheel ticks, maybe if we get the navigation route, and all synchronize this in real time. So what the car manufacturer has to do, he has to give his access in the interior of the car via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi to this data. And with the Elastic SDK, we reached out to the creator community, and we have one quick video of one of the studios, game studios we work with.
Hi, I'm Jesse Schell, the CEO of Schell Games and the author of the Auto-Messe. I've been making VR games for about 25 years, and when I first heard about Holoride, I thought, wow, that's a cool idea, VR that matches the motion of a car. Seems cool, but was it just a gimmick? So I tried it out, and when I tried it, that was when I realized how powerful it really is. To be honest, if you haven't done it, it's hard to understand. It's not like playing a video game. It's really more like having your very own theme park ride, except that it's interactive. I find people are always asking, hey, when are there going to be tactile sensations in VR? And that's what Holoride is. It not only solves the problems of boredom in the car and motion sickness in VR, it's honestly the most thrilling and immersive video game experience that I've ever seen. And now with the Elastic SDK, your game is unique every drive. It's a different way of thinking about games, because when you map your game to the actual world, it adds this whole new dimension of reality that just wasn't there before. At my company, at Schell Games, we think a lot about the future of gaming. And right now, we're working on our third Holoride experience because we can see that this is where VR and where gaming are going.
So we have a great partnership with Jesse, and for mobility companies and car manufacturers, we offer several benefits. First of all, you get curated content for your passengers on their personal devices inside your vehicle. Of course, we share the revenue we make with the car manufacturer for providing the data, so that means additional revenue based on or monetizing car data. Then, of course, it's an easy integration. All we need is the data points via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. As I said, no additional hardware needed, and usually this is a quick software change that can be done from one model year to another. Then we also offer customization opportunities to our automotive partners. So if you want that the screen, the menu looks like the brand you're driving in, that's possible. And last but not least, since the data is only used locally inside the car, it's not being sent outside, we also comply to all the data security and also the transparency topics, because at the end of the day, car manufacturers or mobility providers get a balance sheet on how much revenue they get. But maybe the most important part, suddenly you turn cars into a new entertainment device, and there is no limit to where a car can take you. And I brought one more video because I can tell you, can show you all the marketing videos, but 4 weeks ago we had a journalist testing our application, and here's a quick impression.
Back in 2019 at CES, Holoride gave us a ride in a specially outfitted Audi on a track to test out its VR headset. You could play a game as the car was driving around. It was impressive then. Well, now back here in 2021, we're taking a ride in a Holoride vehicle, except it's not a specially outfitted vehicle. It's just the VR headset, and we're going to drive around in San Francisco's Mission District. Unlike CES, where there was a predetermined route, the Holoride folks wanted to show me that we can do this, well, anywhere where there's roads, and a driver who's happy to roll you around while you're playing a video game. And we are currently in the Mission District. If you live in the Bay Area, you know that the Mission District is very busy. And so, it's also very bumpy. From those vehicles. During the demo, Holoride showed us 2 games. One where we're essentially shooting a cannon at bubbles that was, of course, informed by how the vehicle was driving. If the vehicle turned left, then the cannon I was driving turned left. The second game, I was a floating robot hovering in the air. And again, as the vehicle turned left or right, I turned left or right within the world. And while I was playing that game, I had to fight drones and pick up crystals, and it was all very exciting. Now, I'm amazed at the lack of latency. I don't feel nauseous at all. Everything is sort of working, you know, as I move my head, as the car is moving, with the bumps, everything that's going on, it feels very natural.
So it's real, it's not just marketing, and we brought it, of course, to IAA, but we don't have a booth here because that doesn't make sense. So we moved to the open space. We have 3 cars driving around the city. I moved too fast. So if you want to book your Holoride, you can do this via the IAA app. If all the slots are already booked, I assume they are, because there was much interest in the last 48 hours already. Just send us a quick email. You can send it to me. It's Nils, N-I-L-S, @holoride.com, and book your slot. We have a 3rd car for walk-ins, so maybe there's a good opportunity until Sunday night to try it yourself. Thank you very much for having me, and I hope I see you on board very soon. Thanks.